Dun dun dun! Inside Ganon's castle. Are you ready? I hope so, because this is what it's all been building towards. So right off the bat, we're met with a couple of Beamoses, but we can actually just easily run past them, and as long as you don't dilly-dally too long, you can just get through the door without even being harassed by them. And now you'll see here, the inner tower here has this weird force field around it, and look, it's got these energy beams that appear to be feeding it from the outside. So if we approach, you'll see we can't even get into the inner tower. So we're gonna have to do something about those barriers, and if we make our way around the edge of the space on the inside here, and you'll see around the backside there's one back there and another one over on the other side. So anyway, you can see how there's 6 barriers, one of each of the colors representing each of the sages, or the medallions, of course, right? So the idea is that we have to go into each. You'll see that the beams, you can trace them back to an emitter on the wall, and each one has a door corresponding to it, with, of course, a matching symbol of the corresponding medallion. So for each of the 6 sages, except for, oddly enough, that one down there, the light barrier, doesn't appear to have a door. It's got this like giant crystal-shaped block with a crescent moon symbol on it. So that's very weird. We're gonna have to figure that out. But the idea is that we go into each of these rooms in basically whatever order we want to. Although I'm going to advise you in just a moment on what the best order is. And have to undertake a series of challenges in order to bring the barriers down, and then once all 6 are down, we'll finally be able to enter that middle center main tower, and hopefully confront Ganondorf once and for all. Okay, so the deal is this: the first room we're actually going to want to go into is the Shadow Room, and you're going to see why shortly, because unlike the other rooms, this room actually contains a dungeon item that is going to be of use to us. And see, it doesn't even lock us in, so if we wanted to, we could even just leave, right, and then come back out again afterwards. But okay, so we've got off in the distance here a giant green bubble. Let's see if we can take him out from afar. It's not the easiest thing here, but no, okay. That's not helping us. But anyway, what I recommend doing here is getting out your trusty dusty Lens of Truth and equipping your arrows with fire magic. And a big part of this dungeon here, there's 2 things we're going to have to keep doing over and over again, is activating the Lens of Truth to reveal some hidden pathways. It doesn't look like there's any on this half of the room here, and that's all that this is just one giant room here, a big cavern here. And the other thing you're going to notice is at either end of the room, there's going to be these unlit torches here. There doesn't appear to be one on that side, but there is a chest, so we should be able to drag our way over to that side here to grab that chest. Let's just open that up first and see what that's all about. Just a blue rupee. Worthless. All right. But maybe we can hit. Maybe we can hit that green bubble now that we're a little bit closer. Nope. Okay. That's not helping us at all. No. Okay. He's still too far away. Anyway, the idea is this: with fire arrows, if we can light those torches, we make these temporary pathways appear. And we can hop across them, but be very quick. And make sure that like doesn't suck you up. I mentioned this before when we got the ice arrows. The ice arrows are particularly effective against like for some reason. And we haven't actually seen them in action before either, so check this out. Ooh, okay, that did not have the effect that I was expecting it to. There we go. Must have just had the wrong angle on it. I'm wondering if ice arrows might also be effective against that green bubble. Not that we really need to pay mind to him right now. I'm just kind of bugging me why I can't seem to... There. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. Right on. that did the trick. Maybe fire arrows would have taken him out effectively as well. But anyway, one way or another, whatever gets the job done, right? And because of how much you're going to want to... Well, that sucked. I was about to say, for as much as you're going to be needing the Lens of Truth here, it's wise to try to keep your magic levels topped up if at all possible. But I just missed out on that giant magic jar that fell. But here, if we activate our Lens of Truth, there's still not enough space here to be able to get across there. So let's go back here and relight again that... Oh, it looks like we can't activate two magic abilities at once. While the Lens of Truth is activated, we can't also activate the fire arrows. So we'll temporarily turn the Lens of Truth off. And then come back over. See, look, that just temporarily makes one more block appear over there. Okay. Now over here with our Lens of Truth, this is not a temporary pathway. This pathway is always here. So we'll just use Lens of Truth to reveal the pathway. And then a rusted switch. So we use our Megaton Hammer. Take care of that switch, and that opens up the gateway. So now we can exit the room. But there's still a couple of things to do in the room before. Carefully navigate our way around here. Okay, you can see down here there's a switch down there that we can hit. Oops, okay. Man, that's so weird, turning off the Lens of Truth while you're standing on an invisible platform. But see, here's the other torch here on the other side near the exit. So it's whichever, it doesn't matter, either torch that you manage to light has the exact same effect, so whichever one happens to be closer and more convenient for you. But see, by lighting that torch now, gives us a little bit more of a footpath here, just to be able to now make our way back up. Quickly, 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 before it disappears. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I took too long. I took too long, and look at that, because of that, it spit us all the way back out to the beginning again. Alright, this isn't looking good for us, actually. We're running dangerously low on magic right now. I'm gonna have to be careful with how I conserve my power. Yeah, look at that. It took me one swipe with the Biggoron sword to take that like out anyway, so ultimately using the ice arrows to freeze it is a little bit superfluous. But mainly I just wanted to kind of show it in action. Ah, finally! Magic jar that isn't going to immediately fall off into the chasm. Alright, that was good. We desperately needed some magic there. Alright. There we go. So, the nice thing about it, though, is that we don't have to reactivate that switch, though. Because that switch made this big chest appear. And this is what we're after. This is the whole reason why you're going to want to do the Shadow Room first. Or at least be one of the first ones. Final item to be obtained in the game. You found the golden gauntlets. You can feel even more power coursing through your arms. Grab A and lift stuff up. So basically just an upgrade to the silver gauntlets. Ooh, pretty. Alright, so now that we got that, activate the Lens of Truth again. Carefully navigate the pathway. Make sure not to make fools of ourselves and fall down into the chasm again. And there we go. Alright, out we go. So now that we've come to the end of the room, this is what basically lies at the end of each of these themed rooms, is the source of the barrier. And the way to basically take down that barrier, first let's top up our arrows and magic, because what we're going to want to do is, like the ice arrow magic that we saw before, we also have not seen the light arrow magic in action yet either. So we power up our arrows with the light arrow magic. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And shoot it directly into that sort of seed-looking orb thingy right in the middle of the barrier. And that, using our light magic, destroys it. And now this happens. The Sage of Shadow appears. The shadow barrier is dispelled. Please save the princess. So Impa appears now that taken down that barrier, and so now look what happens. So it instantly teleports us all the way back to the front room, back in the the main chamber here. And look at that, the shadow barrier has now been brought down. So now, it's a simple matter of bringing down the rest of the barriers. What we're going to want to do first, however, first things first, okay? We're actually going to somewhat against what you would expect, we're going to immediately leave the castle. Because now that we've got the golden gauntlets, which as you would rightly expect are vastly more powerful than the silver gauntlets, we're going to come very briefly back up this way to find the game's sixth and final great Fairy's Fountain, to get one final gift bestowed upon us. And that is right here. You may recall this is close to the location of another Fairy's Fountain that we found as a child. This is where we got Din's Fire originally. But now the way is blocked with this giant, again, a crystal barrier, much like the one that I showed on the inside that was blocking the way to the light room. But what we can do is approach this crystal now. Now, this looks impossibly huge, but because we now have the power of the golden gauntlets, we can actually approach it and with the A button grab it, and we can do this. Whoa! Check this out. Whoa! Oh my god! Don't mess with us, man. Now that is strength. Now you're playing with power. Alright, enter the Great Fairy's Fountain, and we will equip our Ocarina to one last time play Zelda's Lullaby and summon the final Great Fairy. And this is a pretty good gift that she gives us too. So I would recommend not overlooking this one. And this, I mean, since you have the Golden Gauntlets, you may as well get this one. And the thing is that the Golden Gauntlets aren't extra stuff either. Like, it's a required item. So if you've got to get the Golden Gauntlets anyway, you may as well come back for this last gift here. Welcome, Jordan. I am the Great Fairy of Courage. I'm going to enhance your defensive power. Receive it now. So you can see why this would come in handy as well. Especially now that we're entering the end game. Look at that. See, all of our hearts have now received a white outline, indicating that our defensive power is enhanced. Your defensive power has been enhanced. Damage inflicted by enemies will be reduced by half. So in a sense, it's almost like instead of 20 hearts, we now have 40 hearts. So that is nothing to sniff at, believe me. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. Okay. Okay. So, now, with that enhancement and the Golden Gauntlets, I believe that's about all she wrote in terms of gaining power-ups and collecting things and whatnot that there is left to do in the game. Pretty much the only thing that there is absolutely definitively now left to do is bring down the rest of those barriers and take on Ganondorf himself. So let's go take care of that. Re-enter the castle. And what I now pretty much you can finish off the rooms in basically any order you want. So I tend to just go counterclockwise, or actually counterclockwise, but I like to go clockwise just momentarily here to start with the shadow. Sorry, the spirit room, because I kind of like ending on the light room. So enter spirit room. Okay, so we got a lot going in here. It's one of these rooms here with the 5 silver rubies. So we'll take out that Demos in the middle of the room. The bomb here. Try to hit it directly. There we go. Actually take it out. And I think, yeah, we're going to want our long shot equipped so that we can get that rupee on the roof. Be mindful of that spinning trap. in the middle of the room there. Be careful not to get in its path. And these guys here, now I think these Armoses, I can't remember if they come alive if you attack them or not, but I don't want to tempt fate either way. The bottom line is you don't even have to attack them anyway. If you just approach them and grab them, what you can do is pull them, and you can see by doing so that gradually increases the distance those floored spike traps have to travel, which now makes it that much easier to grab the rupees that are in the pathway. So, we'll do the same for this other rupee over here. And then after this, there'll be one more. That's the same deal. I mean, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could just flat out walk straight into the path of the spike trap and just grab the rupee and take the damage. I mean, I guess it's up to you, but maybe if you were a speedrunner or something, it might be worth it, but man, trying to do a roll there so that I was kind of out of the path of the spike trap by the time the animation stopped me there, but okay, right away we got some torch slugs. Now this room is interesting because, as I pointed out, at that one point in the Spirit Temple, if you'll remember, there was a point where the only way of blowing up a boulder up on the wall was to use a bomb chew, and I pointed out the fact that that was one of only 2 places in the entire game where a bomb chew was actually required in order to solve a puzzle. Well, this is one of the other 2 areas. You can see here there's a crystal switch on the other side of this gate here, and with our sword, we can actually do a spin attack, and hang on here. We should be able to hit the crystal through the grate with a spin attack. That makes a chest fall. And I believe that there's some bomb chew in there as well if you actually need some. And that's the clue to let you know that you're going to need bomb chew here, because the only way to get through here is to hit that other crystal switch on the other way there, but that's much too far for a sword attack. I don't think, even if you're really skilled here, I don't think that you can throw a bomb through that hole in the ceiling. Yeah, you can see it's much too high. That's the only way through that grate, is that hole up in the ceiling. I don't think that you can manage to throw a regular bomb through it. So what you're going to need to do is line yourself up with that switch nice and straight, as much of a perpendicular angle as you can manage, and then toss a bomb chew its way, and it should go up through the hole, up and down the grate, and oh, look at that! It just missed it. It just missed it. Okay, now, you know, it's maybe better to, in first-person mode here, line yourself up with it that way, and then when you hit A to return, it'll automatically have you kind of lined up a little bit better than if you were just in third person there trying to line yourself up. Let's see if we get a little bit better luck this way. Oh, dang it. I can't believe it's not hitting it dead on. This is the most trouble I've ever had with this. Come on, it should be a simple thing. There we go. Right on. So that opens it. Now, I wanted to open the chest afterwards, so now it refills my stock. So now I can say I've still got a full stock of bomb chew. Obviously, you're going to want to open that chest if you have no bomb chew left, but anyway. What else am I going to need here? I don't know. I'll equip that for now. And here we go on to this side here. Now this is an interesting room here. You can see there's all these sun symbols along here. I can't remember. I know you can do this in Majora's Mask, but I can't remember if you can light these guys with light arrows in Ocarina of Time. No. In Majora's Mask, using light arrows, you can light these guys up. But in Ocarina of Time, the only way to light these guys up is by reflecting light with your mirror shield. However, there is no current light source in this room that will provide that. So what we're going to want to do is equip our fire arrows and burn through a web that is up on the ceiling. And that will let the light through, you see. So now we can activate some of these sun symbols. And I can't remember which one is the one ultimately that's going to unlock the door, but obviously that one wasn't it. Let's try another one. Took care of that wall master easy enough. No. Oh, another wall master. Remember, keep moving so that that shadow doesn't drop on you. I don't know why I'm bothering to pick up those rupees. They're not doing anything for me. Let's try this one. Oh, that might have been it. Yep. Just out of curiosity, I want to see what that last one does. It's probably just another wall master, really. Yep, just another wall master. Alright. Thank you, Biggerin Sword, for making short work of our foes. Ah! And we've reached the end. So, once again, do not neglect those jars at the end there. Each of these rooms, not only does it always have one of these orbs here to shoot, but it's also got a couple of jars here in the corners next to the door, and they always have some useful ammo upgrades for you there. Alright, so again with our light arrows, shoot right into the orb. And this should be Naboo that appears. There she is. The spirit barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, kid. Alrighty. 2 down, 4 to go. Alright, now we're going to make our way counterclockwise over into the forest room. Alright, let's see what is in store for us here. Do we want... Well, we're going to want our fire arrows, and I think we might want our lens of truth as well. Let me try activating lens of truth here. No, no, okay. Maybe not. We'll take out this wolf first. Hang on. There we go. Okay, just in the middle here. Just a stupid rupee. So we got these 4 torches to light. We can light them all with fire arrows if we want to, but then we can see up top there, there's another torch up there that we're going to have to light with fire arrow as well. So what I think the best way of consuming both ammo and magic is to use Din's Fire to light these 4 immediately around us. And then quickly with a fire arrow shoot up above the door. And that should open the way. There we go. You could use fire arrows on those torches, but again, remember, the longer you take to light them all before they all light up, the quicker they go out. They only stay lit once they're all lit. If they're not all lit, then they will gradually go out one by one. So I just like doing it that way. It's quicker and easier. Okay, this room can be a little bit tricky because we've got these fans here on either side. And so kind of the gimmick of this portion of the challenge is to have to periodically use our hover boots to allow these fans to blow us to the desired platforms. So let's wait for this fan to get going. Okay, we'll walk over here and there, and then let it blow us over to that platform up here. And there's a... Oof, that's an inconveniently placed BMOS. Let's see if we can toss a bomb across without accidentally walking off the edge. Okay, there we go. And also still be careful with these hover boots too, because you don't want to accidentally be blown off of a platform when you don't want to be. Come this away. Did I really not need the lens of truth for anything in the forest challenge? I guess not. I thought I did for some reason. I can tell you we are going to need our, well, not necessarily need, but the long shot will be useful. Yeah, if we ever wanted to get back to where we were there, you can see that back at the entrance to this room, there's a long shot target up there. So we can access it that way. Come over this way, and then... oh boy, okay. I think what I'm going to want to do here is with my normal boots equipped, Kokiri boots, wait for that fan to stop blowing, jump over onto the platform, and then quickly jump back to here again. Okay, right here. And then, whoa, no, before it starts blowing again. Ooh, okay, that was quick. Or close, I mean. And then, I have to jump down here to get this switch again, wait for that fan to stop blowing. And then, see, that switch makes a target here appear that wasn't there before, so now we can use our long shot up here to grab that last rupee, and that unlocked the way. Alright, so get those hover boots back on again, just to kind of... I'm pretty sure that it's close enough that we could make those jumps if we really wanted to, but I like to just be certain. But again, only have those hover boots equipped for as long as you need them, because you'd be surprised at how easily you can get accidentally blown off the platform you're standing on without counting on it. Okay, get those light arrows at the ready again, and put another barrier behind us. And because this was the forest room, the sage that appears ought to be Saria. There she is. Been a while since we've seen her. The forest barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, Jordan. Okay, we're making pretty good progress. We're half done already. Moving on. The water room. Though it's really themed more closely to the ice cavern than the water temple, because it's all ice in here. So what we're going to want to do is free up at least a couple of our bottles here. That means we're going to have to release one of our fairy friends, but that's okay, we've still got 2 more. And if you really want to, you can always leave the castle at any time and go to the bazaar or the potion shop and stock up on, you know, green or red potions, or visit Granny's shop and buy a blue potion. But we're going to want these empty bottles for now so that we can fill up on some blue fire. And then, oh, some Freezards are appearing right away, so I'm just going to take care of them right away with Din's Fire. There's a number of them in this room. So Din's Fire is pretty useful at kind of taking care of them no matter where they are around you. Okay, just a heart. Nothing doing there. And this one might be a trap? Yeah, that was a trap. But at any rate, you can use the blue fire on the red ice here. You'll remember that whole mechanic from the ice cavern way before taking on the water temple. And we'll fill that bottle up again, because we're going to want some blue fire going forward. I believe you can still find blue fire. Oh, we still have to do something to open the gate. I think there might be another Freezard somewhere around here. Yeah, there he is. Apparently Din's Fire didn't quite finish him off. Alright. Yeah, I think there's blue fire in this room as well, but it's not as convenient. Oh, okay. We only got 2 minutes to solve the puzzle in this room. So what we're going to do right off the bat here, you got 2 blocks here. What you're going to want to do is select the block that is furthest from you and do this. Push it this way so that it stops there, and then push it backwards this way so that it falls into that slot in the floor, and that will allow us to push this block across it like that. That's the way we do that. Then we can push the block this way. And then... oh, there's another fairy there if we wanted to grab it. And then push the block this way. And then we can run up over this way. Oh, no, okay, so it turns out there is no blue fire in that. So, yeah, I guess that's why I was remembering to do it, because you are going to want to have to bring some blue fire forward with you from the previous room in order to solve this puzzle. Because it's the only way to get in here, and we have to get in here in order to find this rusted switch, which we're going to use our good old pal, the Megaton Hammer, on. In retrospect, I guess we didn't really need to free up that... second bottle after all. We really only needed the one, it looks like. But we can now get out of here. And that was literally the whole thing. That was a pretty short challenge room. Okay, we're flying. Get those light arrows ready again, and by shooting the source of the barrier, we should summon Rudo. The water barrier is dispelled. Hurry up. And with that, we're now 2/3 done. All that remains is the fire room and the light room. Okay. Now the fire room is a room that you're not going to be able to even complete. I see, look, there's the shadow room. That was the first one we did, so it's already done. In the fire room, you're not even going to be able to complete it until you have the golden gauntlets. So that's yet another reason why I recommend doing the shadow temple, or the shadow room first, so that you get those golden gauntlets ready, right? The fire room, we're also going to need our Goron tunic equipped, because there's no way we'll be able to survive the heat long enough. Alright, so the gimmick behind this room is it's just a single room, and in order to get open the exit, we can't even see it from across here, just barely. I don't know how good it's going to pick up on the stream here, but from my vantage point here, it's just very, very hazy. I can see the exit all the way on the other side of this walkway here. But it's caged. We have to find 5 golden rupees to open it, and then we get out of here. But the idea is only the platforms on the far left and far right side are stable. And even then, those little platforms there, they're the kind that sink into the lava here. But this whole platform here, this winding one here, this kind of like question mark looking platform, this gradually sinks down into the lava as we stand on it. And the moment we jump off, it immediately rises again. So the idea is we've got to only stand on this platform long enough to get onto another one. So hop over here, hop across here, and then quickly hop over here and just make our way around this fire trap here. There's 1 rupee down. Okay, and look, there's another rupee over here. So quickly jump over onto this platform here. There's the second one. See, that platform falls down too. Only, oh yeah, I thought that one maybe stayed sunk permanently, but no, that one comes up too even. Okay, so that's 2 down. Way to go. And so now you can see right away why it is that we need the golden gauntlets in order to complete this room, because there's another one of these giant crystal-shaped hunks of granite. So we're going to need to use our golden gauntlets to lift and toss it the shit out of the way. Watch this. I just love when he throws it. Whoa! That is so badass. So that's going to do 2 things for us. Number 1, it's going to reveal the location of another silver rupee. And the other thing it's going to do is provide us, because of where we threw it, here I'll show you in a second here, when we make our way over to here, we can jump across here to grab this 4th rupee. But to get that 5th and final one, you can see is located over there on that platform, and normally we wouldn't be able to get to it, except that now we tossed that crystal-shaped rock. So now we can actually jump across it to get the final rupee. And with that, we'll just make our way over here. Oop. Quickly equip our long shot, because we don't have long to be able to do this. Before it sinks down, we'll just walk right here and target with our long shot on the far wall and hopefully hit it before we sink into the lava. There we go. And just like that. Done and done. Oop. Don't forget our jars. Again, they often contain magic jars or arrows. Useful to have because you are required to fire light arrows into these barrier orbs. That's the only way to destroy them. There's Darunia. The fire barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, brother. I like how each of the sages, too, have their own unique response to you. It's not just cookie cutter, and it all has, like, references some, in some way the type of relationship that you had with them. So like Naburu always called you kid, Darunia always called you brother, stuff like that. Alright. 6th and final room, and you can see now why it is that we also needed the golden gauntlets for this final light room entrance. How I pointed out when we first got in here that there didn't appear to be a door. That's because it's hidden behind this crystal. So we'll throw this final one right into the central tower, blowing it to smithereens. Oh, that was great. Unfortunately, if I'm remembering this correctly, I believe there's only 3 of those giant crystal-shaped granite sort of rocks in the entire game, and we've just taken out the 3rd one. The one right here that's blocking the entrance to the light room, the one that we just did in the fire room, and the one that was blocking the Great Fairy's Fountain outside of the castle here. So that's all taken care of. Alright, final room. Let's go in here. This is the one that I was thinking of before when I was in the forest room. This is the one we actually need the Lens of Truth for. You can see right here in the middle is a big Skulltula, so we can take that out with either arrows or our long shot. Just use the long shot to conserve ammo. And you'll see here there's some chests around here in a circle, and on 3 of them there are keys perched. I think they're invisible keys. Yeah, they are invisible keys, so you're going to need your Lens of Truth for them as well. So we take out all 3 of those keys. And that makes a chest here in the middle of here. And that is the one that we needed with a small key. Let's just, out of curiosity, see what these chests contain. I think that 3 of them are items and 3 of them are traps. Again, the only one you really need is that small key. So my recommendation personally is to just ignore these chests, but just because I'm obsessive compulsive about being a completionist, especially with regards to this game. Again, tapping the B button there rapidly will break yourself out of that ice quicker. And some arrows there. There we go. Alright. Moving on. Okay. Triforce symbol on the floor. We know what that means. And I think that makes a chest appear with a key to open this door. So that was a very simple puzzle. If you can, at this point in the game, even call that a puzzle. It's kind of lame, really, but okay. I'm not sure if there's another chest sitting here that might be invisible. No, apparently not. Okay. Okay, that's literally all there was to that. And, oh, okay, we gotta be quick with this part of the puzzle. We've only got, again, 60 seconds to complete this. So it's, again, collect 5 rupees. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And the 5th one, I believe, is up on top. So we can use our long shot on the target up above the pillar there. Look at that. There we go. But for some reason, the counter still keeps going. Alright. Now, isn't this interesting? We finally made it to the end, but, huh. No orb to bring down the barrier. And no ammo pots for us. What's this all about? Well, oh! Allmaster. Take him out. As it turns out, that's actually a false wall. Our Lens of Truth reveals the hidden pathway. We can pass right through, and looky here. There is the source of the barrier. Very sneaky. Alright. Take out the last one. And there's good old Roru. The light barrier is dispelled. Hurry. And with that, all 6 barriers are brought down, and look at that. The inner tower is now unprotected and open for business. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I just realized that I've still got my fire tunic equipped. Alright, here we go. Ganondorf, say your prayers.